Welcome to a short reflection by Sebastian Mahfoud on Canto 14 of Dante's Purgatorio. While speaking with Sepia, Dante overhears two souls discussing him, and they're astounded that he's not only alive, but free to shut his eyes or open them at will. Dante evades their question for his identity by giving the region from which he's come, and tells them his name is not important, since he's yet to win any real fame. In saying this, he's still remembering the ledge below and his recent conversations with Odorisi and Sepia. His pride's been chastened, but it would be useful to note at any rate that the name Dante hasn't been uttered once so far in the entire comedy. The only time it will be used, in fact, in the whole commedia, will be once by Beatrice, when she meets him in Canto 30. Guido del Duca takes the opportunity to deduce Dante's full meaning, and enters into, as Ciardi puts it, a whole discussion of the degeneracy of the city-states of the Arno Valley. The prophecy Guido utters, furthermore, is something that was unknown to Ranieri, to whom he turns to speak, leading Ciardi to speculate that the prophetic vision in Purgatory comes in flashes, now to one soul, now to another. In any case, the revelation is too much for Guido to bear, and he breaks down in tears. The poets turn away from the dear souls left to their prayers, when all of a sudden they're hit with the rain of envy. Two voices that cry out, "All men are my destroyers," and "I am Aglaros who was turned to stone." The first is from Cain, who slaughtered Abel out of envy that Abel's gift was the more acceptable to God. The second is from Aglaros, who, Ciardi relates, envied her sister Herse's luck in sleeping with the god Mercury. So, in spite of the bribe Mercury gave her to arrange the tryst, she turned him away when he arrived for his appointment. Mercury's response was to turn Aglaros into stone. Upon the dissipation of the second voice, Virgil explains to Dante what it was, and pronounces a judgment on all mankind, that we can see heaven all around us, but we still gulp the hell-bait, hook and all, and the old adversary reels us in. In short, we're our own worst enemies. Cain's killing Abel, and Aglaros's betraying her sister, were both done out of envy, and that's how envy operates, pitting brother against brother and sister against sister, and all the various permutations of relationships up and down the generational charts. It's not always that we want the good that another has. We just don't want them to have it, because our estimations of what they receive, in relation to what we think we deserve, are skewed. Christ breaks down this barrier in the parable of the workers in the vineyard, who themselves are paid the wage for which they contracted, but cannot stomach the thought of others who worked less hard receiving the same wage. We should be grateful about the things that we justly receive, and be happy that others receive things justly too, even when what others receive seems so out of proportion with what we think they ought to have. It's not for us to judge Dame Fortune, when no crime has been committed, but it's our very sense of justice that feels like it's being tweaked out of whack when we hear the good of others has so far excelled the expectations we have for their good. What's out of whack are those expectations, and whenever we feel the kind of anger that we can rightly recognize as purely envy, the only thing we can do is sincerely take it to prayer and ask God to cleanse us and restore our peace.